Hey, this is Tilak. Welcome back to our past formula tutorial. In our last tutorial, we saw that how to we introduced the total compensation item fast formula. We also looked at that context, input values, and the output variables and the values. Today, we are going to write our first fast formula. The simple logic, what we are going to do is we are going to get the annual salary, we are going to return that as a value, and we are going to use that the last date. This annual salary will be taken from the DBA as of the last date of the period, and we get the assignment ID, we get the legal employer ID and the currency from the salary. Then we will return that as a values. This formula basically, that the first output type, the symbol one record, that's what is going to do that. Okay, let's get into the writing fast formula. I'm using the compensation menu because that is what we are talking about. So in the end, we can see the fast formula, the common configuration. You can look at the fast formula. I'm creating a formula, say TCS Item Formula. Looking for pressing T, it will take me into T, total compensation item. As usual, the date is 1/1/2000. Okay, I'm making sure. Name is total compensation item. Type is sorry. It is TCS Item FF. Logic, return salary. Logic is return annual salary as of end of period. Annual salary. Now we introduce this one. What we need it. Okay, we need annual salary, annual currency, legal entity ID. These are three things we needed. I just have that in my notepad, so I'm copying it and pasting it. That is what I need. That okay. Now, what's the input I need? I just need the end date. So I just, okay, I'll make it. I don't need any other input values. I need only end date, but I'm putting a start date and end date. That's fine. It's a date. So I'm okay. Here, these two, that the single value, that's the reason I'm putting a default for. And they are numbers, so it is like default is 0. This is a string. That's why I'm putting XYZ, just any string. Even I can put a space also. Nothing wrong with that. Even I can do like this. There's nothing wrong with that. Or I can have XXX. There's nothing. Some value which is may not be as a currency value. So we know that, like, the difference between the actual value and the difference. Okay. Now I'm making it L data, any variable. So I'm using a set log. I'm not using a ESS write log. Here I'm writing a set log. I'll tell you what the set log is. Entering. Okay. Set log is a function from compensation. This is internally called the ESS write log, write log. I think ESS write log. Now, why we need one more method? Now, what happened was TCS and the CWP product has got something called test fast formula that also allow you to test the fast formula before running the process. So while testing it, it allows you to see the logs. So they came out with a one more function called set log that, along with writing into the ESS log, that also create some kind of a log that is written, that was extracted by the tester. So you can see the logs without using the ESS process. That's the reason. Whenever you have okay, which is not, this cannot be, this can be used in any other way, any other method, or there's something wrong, because end of the day, this is going to call that ESS log, write log. So the functionality will be remain as it is. So if you want to write anywhere, you can use it. But in a compensation product, we recommend you to use set log rather than ESS log, right? Okay, that is about the set log. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have a, I'm just copy it. That's easier. Okay. So after creating log to entering it, I'm telling that okay, plan start date. I mean, it is not a plan. Okay, this is a, I just say start date and end date. That will be fine. Okay, HR assignment ready. Assignment ready. I'm also getting it. So then I'm writing all this into a log. I'm writing a log. Okay, it is not a plan start date, so I'm making sure. So the okay, whatever I got it, I'm getting it. Now I introduce the variable for all that, the output. So that is okay. The compensation state, I'm putting the plan, okay, end date, that's the date, and the value I'm just giving another, okay, space. Okay, everything will be written by as a character or string only. So the unit I'm taking the DBA, and the legal employer again I'm taking the DBA. So we have that these two DBAs here. Then I'm also using the HR assignment ID. Okay, and this is I'm making it a character. This is HR assignment is already converted into a character. HR. Okay, I'll use this one character only. Okay, I'm using the character. Okay, character. Now, what's the logic? Okay, now we are going to get the value as of the end of the day. Okay. Now I'm going to change the context, that effective date to end of the time. If what I'm thinking is correct, that by itself the last date will be passed as a context. So you don't need to change the context, but if you are changing the context, that is okay, but you are doing one more work. But you make sure, don't set the context unnecessarily. If you don't need it, don't set it. Okay, in this case, sometime in our example, I am writing like an unnecessary logics just to give you an example. So don't take my code as a kind of a source of truth or something like that. Don't take it. Take it as a kind of a sampled code. So in our case, I'm setting that context. In the real life, you may not need to set the context because the effective date is by default is the end of the last date of that statement period. Okay. When it is coming here, changing the start date, that I'm getting the salary, then I'm putting into the value. Okay, once it is done, then we are leaving. Okay, when we are leaving it, I'm just telling here we are leaving. Okay, exiting or leaving. Okay, leaving is fine. So once we are leaving, then we are telling that return value. Okay, the 10 is the last line of the code. So now we are there. Okay, this is done. So compensation, dates, values, legal employer, assignment units. Make sure the unit is available because that is a relatively new logic. If it is not there, if it is erroring it, just remove it. Right. Okay, got the error. 32 plan started. Okay, sorry. TCS item FF action. Okay, I have a plan started here that is supposed to be L start date. That's a problem of copying and pasting. Save. Making sure saved. I'm compiling. Well, okay, it's compiled. So now, once it is compiled, we are going back. Okay, making sure the flag is right here. So now I'm going back to that total compensation item. So now we are going to create item on the basis of the first formula. TCS item FF. Okay, item FF test test item TCS test item FF. TCS test FF item first formula. Okay, I'm just going for TCS here. Okay, it is there. Sorry. I'm choosing is monetary. You have to be careful because that has to match. Unless if it doesn't match, okay, the text is fine. Normally you don't have problem because if you are having a date and the value is not y d d mm, then it is going to throw the error. So you have to be careful on that part. Okay, currency. Okay, if we don't pass the unit from there, this takes the currency from here. That's what it is. Okay. Now we are coming to the set log. Okay. This one is a recent enhancement. This allow you to test the formula when you are defining. You don't have to test the formula after setting everything and running the process. You can test here itself. So when you are testing the first formula, you are give some you can have any job, but the only thing is the period has to be proper. Unless until you have some kind of a statement ID, anything you have use that the input value of a statement ID, the period ID all it care about the dates. So you can use this any statement any period. Okay, person. You use a person who has a salary, but I don't know who's having salary, so randomly I'm picking up a person. If there is no salary, I'm not going to get a salary, probably I'm going to get a kind of a 0 or a empty this one. Okay, probably I'm getting 0. The unit is coming as a XXX because the XX is a default, so unit is coming XX. The 0 is coming as this one, no error. It's not finding any error, but it is getting a kind of a empty value. That's what happening here. Okay, now when you are going to log, you see how long it when it started. Okay, when it's ended, everything is there. This is the log you put that entering start date, end date, assignment ID, annual salary. Probably have the second page. See that is coming out of it. Okay, this logs appears here. Only you use that set log function. Okay, otherwise you won't get it here. So, but So whenever you're using anything for compensation related, always use the set log. Don't use the ESS log, right? Okay, so we are saving and closing it. Now I can, okay, either I can go to the category, I can attach it, or I can move it from, I coming from a statement. I take a statement, I'll come back from statement. Okay, I'm taking a statement called job. Okay, I'm going to edit category. Okay, I'm attaching the item here. So I'm looking for formula type. TCS item. With is the formula name. So okay, save and close. Okay, now I'm processing that. I'm doing a finish and generate statement. Okay, I'm not choosing a person because I don't know which person has it. So I'm just selecting it. Probably take a little more time because it has to process entire population. Okay. We are taking one person to see that whether the person has got a salary. Look like the person has got a 60,000 salary has come for the person. Okay, now you'll see that, yeah. So the date is the last date of the period. The person has got a 60,000 salary. Now we'll go and look at the log. Okay. The log is available only when that statement is processed. Okay, it looks like it is still processing. We go to the monitor process because we don't get a log from here. ESS log from here. Okay, I'm just refreshing it. me see. Let me see if I get something. So I don't have to. Okay, it is coming here. Let me go to the top of it. Okay, entering this person assignment, this one, hire date, leaving. That's the eligibility. Look like there's a okay. Let me have a look at that. Annual salary is something. We have something with annual salary. Okay, yeah, I got a person with the 10,000. Now what is happening here is going to that, entering that formula, start date, end date, assignment ID we call the annual salary, and is leaving it. So basically this is working the way we want it. That's it for the day. I'll attach the code. I provide a link to the code so that you can use the code. Use it as a sample. The logic may not work for you. Use it as a sample. If you have any question, if you have any comments or any suggestions, please let me know in the comment box. I'll reply. And next time we'll see with another formula for the same compensation item with the different types. Till then, thank you. Bye.